on the move. I got this. No surrender.
With a shock of psychic pain, the pack leader's mind clamps onto yours. You see yourself through her eyes, a pulsing red cluster of organs. Feast. No. The voice has forbidden this meat. Gnolls see your whole world as a meal. This voice is acting as a leash, but it won't hold them for long. As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority. A memory. The beast daubs the symbol of the Absolute on a cave wall in blood. Buried deep, a tadpole struggles to assert control against the ravenous chaos of her mind. You see drow and goblins restraining her, a mind player reaching out. And then the voice, bringing order. Eating this meat was forbidden, but it would lead her to a feast. Sensing your presence, the Gnoll's tadpole writhes in ecstasy, echoing your command. Its host will feast on Gnoll flesh to control the hunger, to keep her teeth from your throat. Your mind lurches, reeling suddenly as if bitten.
Let's end this. Got to press on.
No choice but to keep going.
Worth a try. It's Ali.
smell blood. Talk to me.
Take you.
Time to push my luck again. Wonder if the gods are watching me.
She is still ravenous, her mind a hungry pit. The flesh of her pack wasn't enough to satisfy her. Her tadpole responds, thrashing violently, and the fragile tissue of her brain tears and splits. You taste the blood in her throat, feel it pooling in the cavity of her skull. But she still resists. Her tadpole responds, thrash. You taste the blood in her throat, feel it pooling in the cavity of her skull. Your tadpole wriggles, contented, as she tears out her own throat.
By the gods, you're a sweet sight. Are any of my crew still alive out there? Damn it. I guess that's a no.
Risen Road's more dangerous than ever. You're the first friendly face we've seen since Eltergard.
We're bound for Baldur's Gate. Got some cargo to deliver. But we've a stop to make along the way. Wakeen's Rest. It's just up the road. I'd be enjoying a mug of ale right now if those beasts hadn't jumped us. Listen, you look like you know how to handle yourself. You should meet my associates. We've got our own drinking spot by the tavern. Invitation only. Tell the fellow on the door. Little Serpent, Long Shadow. He'll take good care of you.
Shame we lost so many agents. But the chest is all that matters. Zaris would have our hides if we lost it.
Aye, the whole reason we're in this mess. Trinkets for some rich tosser in Baldur's Gate. He gets his shiny baubles. We get a handful of Tarenths.
Tarenths are the currency of the Zentarim, a network of merchants and mercenaries with few scruples.
Rich men place more value on wine and fine clothes than on the lives of folks like me. It's a pretty bit of frippery that'll sit on a mantle gathering dust. But the pay for delivering it makes the risk worthwhile. You know who we are. Very clever. And you probably also know it's not smart to interfere with Zent business. This is the point when a clever lass like you accepts my gratitude and walks away. Tell the fellow on the door. Little serpent, long. Aye, the whole reason he gets...
Tarenths are the currency of the Zentarim, a network...
You know, this is the point when a clever lass like you accepts my gratitude and walks away. I like the way you think. Didn't expect to turn this horror show to my advantage, but why not?
The chest's all yours. Damn thing's sealed tighter than a duke's purse strings. So there's no point in trying to open it. I know a fence in Baldur's Gate who'll take it off your hands. Nobody will be the wiser.
Don't try to cut me out of the deal, though. The Black Network has eyes and blades everywhere. Crafty swine like you could make a name for yourself in the Zahentarim. Make sure to drop by our hideout.
You fight well, but you're so efficient. Why not have a little fun?
Fun? I fight to win, not to make spectacles.
What a waste.
That's curious.
I'll be glad when we're out.
The blade of frontiers, hmm? Do you always need to be the center of attention?
Anything but. I don't fight to be flattered, Laser. I fight to save lives.
Assume nothing.
Yes? Where am I needed?
Damn, it's good to be alive.
This is the point when a clever lass like you accepts my gratitude and walks away. Fine. No need for more violence. I'll tell my associates everything was lost in the ambush. The chest's all yours. Damn thing's sealed tighter than a duke's purse strings. So there's no point in trying to open it. And no hard feelings, you hear? I'd have done the same if I were you. Business at the end of a blade is still business. Ruthless bastard like you could make a name for yourself in the Zentarim. Make sure to drop by our hideout.
Let's crack it open and...
This is the point when a clever lass like you accepts my gratitude.
Well, lad, it's our lucky day after all. The rest of our crew's half digested, and you're still alive. That's lucky. then, it's our lucky day after all.
I don't feel lucky.
The rest of our crew's half digested, and you're still alive.
Something.
That's lucky.
I'll be glad when...
More for me.
You fight well, but you're so efficient. Why not have a little fun?
Fun? I fight to win, not to make spectacles.
What a waste.
Well then, it's our lucky day after all.
I don't feel lucky.
The rest of our crew's half digested, and you're still alive. That's lucky.
Still no symptoms.
No sign of tentacles so far.
The same. Except for a nausea worry in my stomach that's in no rush to go away.
Assume nothing. It will happen.
Still in control. Just... No traps, please.
All's well, I hope, aside from the obvious.
Well met.
Need something?
Speak.
Copper for your thoughts.
Go ahead.
Hell's fire. She's coming.
Well, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
The blade of frontiers, hmm? Do you always need to be the center of attention?
Anything but. I don't fight to be flattered, Lae'zel. I fight to save lives.
Hell's fire. She's coming.
Well, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
Well, you absolute stinker. You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlach's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlach, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlach meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart. Don't you worry. That ship has long sailed the Styx. But a defiant pup must still pay his price. To wit.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet.
There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo.
Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlach, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you.
Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands.
Ta-ta.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was. What's on your mind? We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice. Me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted. I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride. No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players.
God's damn her, straight back. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mizora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
Warlock pacts tend to be unforgiving from what you know of them. Will was lucky he didn't face a more severe punishment.
I'd count my lucky stars for it, but I reckon luck is on holiday. I'm only alive because my patron still has use for me. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. The one little question that put me out of house and home. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact, I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mizora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mizora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word. Well met. A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. It could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. We can. I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet. Well met. It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck, not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see? I can't tell if you're being silly or serious. I'll accept the flattery either way. I suppose I'll grow used to the new me. Horns and all. The people will see a curiosity. Maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters. Keep them safe. And one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again. Well met.
I can't help feeling Will got off lightly. The wrath of the Hells is second only to the wrath of the heavens. Having a devil in our camp will certainly make things interesting. Never a dull day, is there?
The Blade of Frontiers in the guise of a devil. I'd remark on the irony, but I'd hate to waste the breath. Still, it took guts to defy that petty patron of his. The Blade's sting is real.
So, Will did the right thing, and it earned him a set of horns. Let that be a lesson to us all.
Soldier?
Something's wrong. I feel... it hurts. Darkness, protect me. No. I'm fine. Forget it. It's difficult for me to talk about. I'm sorry. You're not going to let this go, are you? I worship Shah, the mistress of the night. Don't make a fuss, Selûnite. We may be at odds, but I have more important concerns than you right now.
You worship Shah? Blimey. She and my beloved Mistra are not exactly friends.
True. I didn't think you'd react so pragmatically. Perhaps I should have told you sooner. Talk to me later. This day's been long enough already.
What a day. Quite ready for you.
Sharp as ever.
Hey, good looking.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Let me guess. You're wondering why I was in pain before. Best if we just get the subject out of the way now. The wound on my hand. It never quite heals. And sometimes it causes terrible pain to rip through me. It's my burden, though, from Lady Shah. I can feel her influence somehow. I don't think so, but you're sweet to ask. Maybe just be patient the next time you see me wince or cry out. It'll pass quickly enough. It always does. Pain is sacred to followers of Lady Shah. Pain will give way to loss and then to the peace of her eternal darkness. You can tolerate a great deal of suffering so long as it has meaning. It's difficult to say. Sometimes I wonder if it's supposed to be guiding me, punishing me, testing me. But perhaps it's none of those. Perhaps it's completely random. I'd like to hope there's more to it than that. Some meaning that Lady Shah will reveal to me when the time is right. Until then, all I can do is endure. I cannot say. Not with what I can recall. But even then, it would not be for me to question her will. Lady Shah has her reasons. I'm sure you do. But please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely. Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shah, mistress of the night and lady of loss. As you worship Selûne, I assume you know of her twin. The night brings comfort. Through loss, we find acceptance. In the arms of the Dark Mother, we find peace. Most fear the dark, like children, because in darkness they see their fears reflected. But Shah teaches us to step beyond fear, beyond loss. In darkness, we do not hide. we act. Pain, hope, the promise of better days. All of these are heavy cloaks that bend our backs and burden our hearts. We shed those cloaks. Before Shah, we stand gloriously naked, beyond the vanities of mortals. There's comfort, yes, but often there has to be pain beforehand. We tear down the lies the world is drunk on, the institutions they trust, the so-called gods they worship, the lives they cling to. We destroy false idols, topple corrupt organizations, fight heretics wherever they're found. There's often suffering, death even. Many people break before they embrace Shah's truths. You're wiser than most. Many people balk at our doctrine. It's the reason why we cherish secrecy. You've a habit of saying all the right things. Either you're very glib or we're kindred spirits. Maybe both, knowing myself. But yes, once we've saved ourselves, we can talk more on this. I had hoped you might be tactful enough to not pick at that particular scab. Seems I was mistaken. My lady and your Moon Witch are at war, so naturally we're enemies. But enemies with a common purpose, for now. As long as we have use for each other, I can bite my tongue and stay my blade. I don't see what more needs to be said on the matter. You're good company, I'll admit it. I'm sorry you're hindered by that supposed goddess. But whatever you and I think of each other means little. We stand in opposition. Our goddesses have determined it. I suppose some would consider such diplomacy a virtue. Others might just see it as a lack of will. But I suppose there's no harm in learning about the opposition. No, I doubt there's much to learn. You Selûnites are coddled, decadent, drunk on hope, fattened calves ready for sacrifice. How so? Are you taught to churn your own butter while barely out of swaddling? Nothing Selûne asks of you can compare to the tests that Lady Shah's children endure. What, you think frolicking in the woods by moonlight amounts to a test? That's nothing. That's just a childish thing. I don't want to hear any more of it. We've spoken enough of this. I cannot allow your misguided beliefs to poison my mind. You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask? She took me in when no one else would. Without her, I wouldn't be alive. She's my mother. She nurtures me, cares for me, loves me. There's less truth in the Moon Witch's teachings than you've been led to believe, Selûnite. What, besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant? It's a deal. No, I can't. I mean, I literally can't. There's certain things I can't remember right now. Shah's secrets must be preserved above all else. All who worship her know this. I have had certain memories suppressed, voluntarily, so that I can serve Shah without compromising her. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shah's mission, then my memories will be restored. Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shah will reward me when I succeed. I think I know what you mean. There's an undeniable rapport, and yet we haven't made time for each other. Time alone. Easily remedied, if you like. I know a place. Not just yet. Let's choose our moment. Some quiet night, when the others are asleep and there's no distractions. I'll come for you. Fine. What's on your mind? Does it even need to be asked? We're beyond me merely liking you. I think I'm a different person, owing to you.
What am I to do?
No one back home will ever believe this.
Tonight, you can't chase the thoughts of that poor girl you killed from your head. You wonder what she looked like as she died. Squirming, skewered in abject agony. You would have given anything to have seen it. As you jolt awake, too many questions plague you. When do you have no recollection of it?
Milady? Jubilant day! I have found your vile self at last! Sceleritas fell! Your loyal and ever-adoring butler. I followed you, my dear rotted master. We have been parted so tragically long. We are in a place darker than any prison, hotter than any fire, where the souls of the innocent scream in sacred agony. Your flayed and putrefied heart. Thump thump. I found you following the stench of that bard. She reeked across the coast like a piece of dog muck on the road. My, we will be reintroducing necrophilia to your schedule in no time. Anyways, I come once again bearing a part of your dreadful inheritance. You earned this iniquitous prize through your great show of exceptional violence the other night. I'm sure Master will be better soon. A fellow of your fine breeding is never down for long. I cannot wait until your next act of shameless barbarity. Though I would love to regale you with your past triumphs, I cannot. I am forbidden to interfere. Our betters will not allow it. Be true to yourself, my lady.